Let us take into consideration a few examples of or the mathematical examples of the concept of break-even point. Here in this example it has been said a factory working at 40% capacity produces 10,000 units per annum. The cost breakup for one product is given as material rupees 10 per unit, labor cost rupees 3 per unit, overhead at rupees 5 per unit, and it has also been mentioned that overhead of rupees 5 has a certain part of 60% to be the fixed overhead, and the selling price is at rupees 20 per unit. Furthermore, it has been said that if it is decided to work the factory at 50% capacity, the selling price falls by 3%, and if the factory is working at 90% capacity, the selling price falls by 5%, accompanied by a similar fall in the price of materials. What we need to find out is the profit at respective capacity and the respective break-even points for the factory. Coming back to the solution part here, it was said in the sum that 40% capacity of that factory produces 10,000 units. So while working at 40%, the factory can manufacture 10,000 units, but we need to consider the factory operating at 50% and 90% capacity. So while we transfer the values from 40% capacity to the respective 50 and 90, we get the units produced as 12,500 and 22,500. The workings has been showed in the PPT. Now while we need to find out the profit as well as the break-even point for both the capacity. Now if we come back initially to the calculation of profit and break-even point for the 50% capacity, where our units produced has been increased from 10,000 to 12,500. So we know that to find out profit, we need to use the formula of sales minus variable cost gives us contribution, contribution minus fixed cost gives us profit. Now in this case, the variable cost can be subdivided into the material cost, the labor cost, the fixed overhead as well as the variable overhead. Now fixed cost will be the fixed overhead, but the variable overhead will come under variable cost. Now if we divide that, it has also been mentioned in the sum that 50%, if the organization or the factory is moving to a 50% capacity of production, the selling price falls by 3%. So here we can see the initial selling price was 20. If we are moving on to 50% capacity, it is falling by 3%. So 20 minus 20 into 3% should give us the per unit selling price of 19.40. If we are multiplying that 19.40 with the total number of units, we are getting the total sales figure to be 2,42,500. Simultaneously, as I have already mentioned, the variable cost will be divided into the material cost, which is 10 per unit, labor cost of rupees 3 per unit, and there was given overhead or total overhead of 5, out of which 60% was fixed. So if 60% was fixed, that means fixed cost per unit transfers into 3. The remaining amount deducted from that 5 or rupees 2 per unit goes into the variable overhead. Adding that material, labor and variable overhead up, we are getting the total variable cost per unit to be 15, and multiplying it with the total number of units of 12,500, we get the figure to be 1,87,500. Now deducting the figure of 1,87,500 from the figure of 2,42,500, we get the contribution to be 55,000, and if we deduct the per unit sales and the total per unit variable cost, we get the contribution per unit figure to be 4.40. Why we are calculating contribution per unit? It will help us to calculate the break-even point. Now, so coming back to fixed cost here, fixed cost per unit is 3. But here, students, I need you to understand one single concept about fixed cost. Previously, we have said that fixed cost does not change with time or does not generally change with productivity. Here it has not been shown or told in the sum that fixed cost will change with the increase of productivity. So if we are considering that fixed cost is not changing throughout the productivity range, then the first calculation of fixed cost, that is at 40% capacity, that is the minimum capacity that we are having right now in this sum. So 40% capacity is fixed cost. If it is not changing throughout the time period, is running throughout that entire productivity range, whether it is 40, whether it is 45, whether it is 95, whether it is 65, irrespective of that production capacity, the fixed cost basically remains same. So if fixed cost for the lowest level is 3 into units is 10,000, which was the unit of the 40% capacity. If we multiply that, we are getting the fixed cost fixed at 30,000, irrespective of the increase of the productivity. So if we are deducting that total fixed cost from the total contribution of 55,000, we are getting the profit to be 25,000. And the break-even point formula, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, gives us the break-even point to be at 6,818 units approximately. This is what the initial one is. Simultaneously, if we move back to the 90% capacity, the units has been transferred into 22,500. Now, if the organization was to increase its capacity to 90%, the selling price was to be falling by 5% with a similar fall in the price of material. So if you can see, initially the per unit selling price was 20. If we deduct 5% from it, per unit selling price becomes 19, and a similar kind of treatment of initial material cost of 10 has been done here. Deducting 5%, we get 9.5. So simultaneously the total variable cost shifts to 14.5, the contribution shifts to 4.5 per unit, whereas the total contribution from deducting the sales and variable cost figures comes at 1,01,250. And as we had already known that fixed cost will not be changing regardless of the increase or decrease of the productivity, it is remaining at 30,000, where we find out the profit to be 71,250, and the break-even point is coming somewhere at 6,667. So this is the particular solution to the above mentioned problem. Let's take another example into consideration. We need to find out the break-even point and the net sales value from the below mentioned data that are available to us, and the data which are available to us are direct material cost per unit is at rupees 10, direct labor cost per unit is at rupees 5, selling price per unit is at rupees 25, trade discount offered on sales is 4%, the fixed overhead is at rupees 50,000, the variable overhead is at 60% on the direct labor cost. Okay, and also it has been mentioned that if sales are 10% and 25% above the break-even volume, we need to furthermore determine the net profit amount also. Here into the solution, there is a concept of trade discount which has been introduced in this sum. Here I need to remember my student that trade discount is deducted from the initial selling price of the product. As you can see, I have deducted the per unit selling price of 25 and I have deducted the trade discount value of 4%, that is rupees 1 of each product. So the actual selling price now moves back to rupees 24 per unit. Now if we go back to the variable cost calculation, because we know that sales minus variable cost gives us contribution. Coming back to the contribution or the variable cost part here, we can see that it has been already mentioned that material is at rupees 10 per unit, labor cost is at rupees 5 per unit. Most importantly, the variable overhead part is on the labor cost itself, is dependent on the labor cost itself, which is 60% of rupees 5, where the variable overhead is turning back to rupees 3. Now if it is turning back to rupees 3, the entire summation of variable cost is turning back to rupees 18. Deducting that variable cost from the selling price per unit, we get the figure of contribution per unit as rupees 6. So coming back now to PV ratio, we know that PV ratio is contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit. If we multiply it into 100%, we are getting the figure of 25%. Now if we consider the break-even point for output, is practically fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So fixed cost is given at 50,000 and we have calculated contribution per unit to be rupees 6, and we are getting the figure at 8,333 units approximately. And if we turn that particular output figure of break-even point into the the sales figure, we are getting it at rupees 2 lakh. Now that is the break-even point for sales. So it was mentioned that we need to find out the profit as well for the sales figure if it is above 10% and 25% of the break-even point. So I'll show you one particular calculation here, that we need to find out the profit when the sales figure is 10% above the break-even point. So sales at break-even point, basically we have calculated it to be 2 lakh, and if I am adding that 10% of extra to the break-even point sales figure, we are obtaining the value of 2,20,000. Now if we are pretty much aware of the, formulas here, we know that PV ratio is practically contribution divided by sales. So if we find out contribution, then contribution formula basically moves to sales into PV ratio. We know the PV ratio to be at 25%. If we multiply that with the sales, we are getting contribution to be 55,000. And most importantly, we also know that contribution is practically has another formula, that is fixed cost plus profit. Now if we know the contribution amount here, we know the fixed cost amount here, so the profit should be contribution minus fixed cost. So deducting contribution minus fixed cost, we get the profit amount to be rupees 5,000. Now this is the calculation for 10%. If you can do it for 25% as well, the similar kind of method needs to be followed, where 2 lakh plus 25% of break-even point should give you the sales figure, and then you can entirely follow the same kind of mathematical expression to find out the profit at 25% above of break-even point when the sales figure is that. Taking into consideration another example here, where variable cost per unit has been given to us at rupees 15, the fixed cost amount has been given to us at rupees 54,000. The selling price per unit has been given to us at rupees 20. So we need to find out, this is a new kind of sum where you need to find out that the selling price per unit, what should be that selling price per unit if the break-even point figure should be brought down to 6,000 units. So let's go into the calculation to see how to solve this particular interesting example. Coming back to the solution part here, we know that contribution per unit is basically selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. As we know both the selling price and the variable cost, we can easily find out the calculation of contribution per unit to be rupees 5 per unit. Now if we move back to the calculation of break-even point is practically fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, where our fixed overhead has been given or mentioned in the sum to be 54,000, and the contribution per unit we have calculated it back to rupees 5. We easily get the break-even point to be 10,800. Now what is interesting in this particular sum, that this is the break-even point which has been achieved. Now the sum is telling us to bring down the break-even point to 6,000 units. Now we have to somehow bring it down from 10,800 to, should I say, 6,000. And for that case, if we are bringing down the break-even point, simultaneously our concept should tell us this, that if we are bringing down the break-even point, the selling price per unit should increase, because we are obtaining the break-even point much earlier than it was anticipated. So definitely number of units will be less. So somehow I have to make up with the figure with the per unit selling price. So let's see with the calculation if this concept is actually correct or not. So if we are now taking the break-even point at 6,000 units, what we are doing, we are finding out the contribution. Contribution will be practically then fixed cost divided by break-even point. So fixed cost divided by break-even point, we get the contribution per unit at rupees 9. Now if we know that contribution per unit is rupees 9, now we know the selling price per unit and the variable cost per unit. The variable cost per unit, it has not been mentioned in this sum that it will change with the break-even point. Say if we consider that to be constant, we are taking that to be 15. Now if we are taking that to be 15, so selling price per unit will be an addition of variable cost per unit plus the contribution per unit. The respective figures are practically 15 and 9, so we get the selling price at rupees 24 per unit. Now as you can see students, that I have already mentioned you, if we were bringing down the break-even point from a higher value to a lower value, we definitely have to increase the selling price per unit. That's what our sum has proved the concept to be right one more time. Let us consider another example here where the sales figure has been given to us at rupees 1 lakh. The profit figure has been given to us at 10,000. The variable cost has been said to be 70% of the sales. So these are the given value which has been provided to us. So from that we need to find out the PV ratio, the fixed cost, the sales volume in order to earn a profit of 40,000. Coming back to the calculation portion here, we can easily see that if the figure of sales is at rupees 1 lakh, then variable cost, if it is 70% of the sales, variable cost will give us a figure of 70,000. So if we want to calculate the PV ratio, So PV ratio basically can be calculated as contribution by sales. Again, contribution can be then subdivided into sales minus variable cost. If we do that, then the PV ratio formula transfers into sales minus variable cost divided by sales into 100%. So basically we are getting the figure of 1 lakh minus 70,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100%, which is transferring the PV ratio into 30%. Now, to find out the fixed cost, we need to just change certain formulas where we know that contribution is practically fixed cost plus profit. So contribution figure is somewhere coming at 30,000, where sales minus variable cost is basically 1 lakh minus 70,000. So contribution figure is coming at 30,000. Fixed cost we have to find it out, and we know or given profit is 10,000. From here the fixed cost can be easily calculated at 20,000. Now again, if we need to find out the sales, so again we need to transfer a certain formula, that is PV ratio is initially total contribution divided by total sales. Now again, total contribution can be again changed into fixed cost plus profit divided by sales. So from this particular thing, if we interchange the places of PV ratio and sales, we are getting sales is equals to fixed cost plus profit divided by PV ratio. If we put in the values here, then we can easily put the value of fixed cost, which we have already calculated at 20,000, the profit. Now we are wanting to achieve the profit of 40,000, and most importantly we have previously calculated the value of PV ratio to be 30%. Calculating that, we can easily transfer the value of sales to rupees 2 lakh.